And welcome to the Note Buyers Academy. I believe that this is going to be the best academy that we've ever had. My goal is that you close a deal within the next 90 days. Okay, closing instructions. That's on page 90. Closing instructions are not required, but they're highly recommended. And probably most people don't use them. Most people just call the title company or they email back and forth, and everything is done piecemeal. Having been a title agent, I appreciate the value of the instructions, and I like to have everything written out, because if the title company does not do something on the instructions, then you can hold them accountable and you can make a claim on their E&O. But if it wasn't clear that you wanted them to do something and they didn't do it, then you're out of luck. So I always do closing instructions. So notice here in my simultaneous, in my closing instructions, and you could use this like as a template and just go back in and make the changes on it. I've got the parties, I've got closing A and closing B, so it's very clear that we're going to have the two closings. And I list all the parties, their contact information, their email. And then if you go to page 91, please consider this letter as disbursement authorization for the sum of $95,000, which will be wire transferred to your escrow account per your instructions on or before Thursday, November 7th, for the purpose of funding this transaction. Call me if you have any questions. So I'm saying that we're going to execute the documents by Thursday so we can disperse on Friday. And then I list for closing A. All you're going to do is list what you want done. It's not difficult. Think about what do you need to have done in order to perfect your interest in this note. Well, first of all, you're always going to ask for driver's license in the original note. That should be the first thing you want. You want the driver's license. You want to get their social security number. You want to prove who they are. You have to use the original note. Let's stop and talk about that for a second. A lot of people will bring up, can't we use an affidavit of lost instrument? And I have used them before. The issue is that it varies from state to state. It depends, as Ben says. And some states are very, it's no problem at all. Use the lost affidavit instrument. But some of them, for example, one that Ben was telling me about, it depends on when the note was lost. If it was lost before it was assigned to you, then you may not have the right to enforce that note. If it was lost after, it depends on what time it was lost and who lost it. And so sometimes what you would have to do is you would have to go back to the note seller and have the note seller foreclose against the borrower if necessary, if the original note was lost. So unless you have an attorney who can tell you what the state laws are, if they can't produce the original note, I would not buy the note. I would not accept an affidavit of lost instrument unless you can get a legal opinion, is it enforceable? If you accept this affidavit of lost instrument in lieu of the original document and they default, are you able to collect on it? And if you can't collect, you have no security. So we got our driver's license, the original note, an assignment of the note, an endorsement. So what's going to happen is, well, the way I normally do it, I used to have the note seller bring the original note in, and I would have the title company type on it, pay to the order of the original note buyer. But I found a better way to do this is like the banks do. They create an allonge, which is a separate sheet of paper that is permanently attached to the note. And you have to be careful when you orchestrate this closing. Some title companies are real picky about it, others don't care. But technically, like what I would like to do is sign that allonge ahead. First of all, Sally Seller's going to endorse the note to me, and then I'm going to endorse the note, say, to Michael. I would like to go ahead and sign my endorsement to you, send that original to the title company, and then when Sally comes in, she can sign it. Now we've got both signatures all on the same page. However, how can I endorse it to you when I don't own it yet? And it's not so bad on the note, but the real issue is with the assignment that has to be notarized, because you can't notarize it on a different day or predated or anything like that. So what I have found works the best is I do 2 separate allonges, and I have Sally Seller sign one allonge. Then they call me up and say, okay, your closing's done. So then I sign the other allonge. I take my assignment, go down to the bank, I get that notarized, and then I overnight it to the title company. So the next morning, they have my assignment to Michael, and they have my endorsed note to Michael, and as well as what they got from Sally the day before. That is the best way to make all of that happen legally. It works fine. Okay. Make sure that you have your settlement statement. Now, some title companies, they prepare the settlement statements. Others, other people like for me to. And I can see we've really gone long and everybody needs a break. So let's just take a break right here. Okay? What makes the Academy are the people who come. Okay, thank you.